Hi everyone, it's Tori. Welcome back to Mission Helping Hands' monthly live show. Today we have two very special guests that are going to be discussing some upcoming events that are going to be extremely successful. They already are successful, and it's going to be donating to such great causes. So first, we're going to have Gabriella from Rocco Strong. She is an awesome woman that I've been connected with lately. She's going to be talking about their gala that they have coming up, and there's only a few days left for tickets. So we really want to get the word out there so everyone can start purchasing tickets because they're on almost at the deadline. And we also have Scott from Mission Helping Hands, and he's going to be announcing our first event of the 2022 season with Mission Helping Hands, which is going to be in April. And I'm really excited to get everyone on here and start talking. We have a lot to go over, so I'm just going to bring Gabriella in now. That way we can get started. Hi, Gabriella.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you
And
so
thank you
much
so much for having me on. Yes, thank you for having me on.
So you are in charge of Rocco Strong. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, of course. So Rocco Strong, Rocco is my son. And back in May, on May 12th, 2020, Rocco was 2.5 years old and sadly was diagnosed with neuroblastoma. It was a pediatric cancer. It started when back in April. Prior to that, we both had COVID and we got sick. He was very sick. He stopped walking. And he was just not doing well. He was very ill. We were confused. We didn't think COVID would really have this much of an impact on him. But after weeks of him recovering from COVID, no longer having the fevers that he had, he still wasn't walking. We didn't know what was going on. We ended up taking him to Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital, where within 4 hours they diagnosed him with neuroblastoma. It was a pediatric cancer.
Oh my God, that is so terrible. I'm so sorry.
Yes. Thank you.
Wow. So what is neuroblastoma?
So neuroblastoma, it's a pediatric cancer. It basically consumed his entire belly. It was a mass that was so large it consumed his belly that when they went in after 5 rounds of chemo, they went in. We did over 20 hours of surgery to remove the mass. They ended up having to remove his left kidney, his left adrenal gland. They had to do surgeries all the way up his spine to get all of the little spots of and tumors that grew. But it is a pediatric cancer that most families see when they go to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician lays down their children and kind of feels on their belly. That's one of the things that they're feeling for. And sadly, my son was one of them that was unfortunate to have it.
Wow, that is crazy. And talk about something like COVID. Everyone's talking about the downsides, but it sounds like if he didn't have COVID, you wouldn't really have maybe brought him to the hospital or noticed the symptoms or not known what was really going on. So it might have brought the whole situation to light and caught it early enough.
Right. So it was something that we would never think. We thought, okay, it's symptoms that are lingering from COVID. We didn't think anything of it. A couple of months prior to Rocco getting COVID, he would complain that his back hurt. We would get up off the floor and we would say, "Oh, my back." He would go, "My back." So we always thought he was mimicking us, but really there were symptoms there that really didn't come out, and it was really brought about after he had COVID. So it was kind of like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, definitely. And I know a lot of people that something like that happens where they think it's COVID, or everyone was so anal about COVID. If they had a little cough, they're like, "Oh my God, I have to cough COVID. I have to go to the hospital," stuff like that. And so many different very serious illnesses, not something just like this. I know people who needed transplants or would have had a heart attack or something, but they went early enough because of COVID, and it was a blessing in disguise.
Right.
So why did you guys create the Rocco Strong organization? What is the whole mission of that?
Sure. So I knew Rocco was treated at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. His oncologist, Dr. Modak, was truly one of a kind. His surgeon, Dr. LaQualia, another one of a kind, angel on earth. I say it every day. His nurses, his one nurse who was going to be an honoree at this year's gala, Cassie DeMattis, was unbelievable. They just provide to you what you would never expect. So during going back to COVID, during that time, there was no such thing as visitors. There was no such thing as swapping out parents. Once you were there, you were there. So I was stuck there every day for 6 months with my 6-month-old at home and my husband, and we couldn't swap out. They gave us a difficult time when we tried. It was only certain days, but my husband worked, so it was very hard for us. So we've grown to be very close with Cassie, who is the honoree. I say it all the time. I said she grew to be so loving to Rocco. He always said he was going to marry her. He's only 2 years old. But she saved me essentially too. She knew those days that I had a very rough day. She would come in and say, "Hey, I have a free hour. Why don't you go take a walk in the park?" And I would. And honestly, I just needed that breath of that fresh air, and I would come back and be re-energized and able to get through the next however many weeks we would be stuck there. So they're just angels on earth. They truly are. So really what brought about Rocco Strong Inc. was in September, when Rocco was officially declared in remission. I said, we're going to do something. We have to give back. And one thing with neuroblastoma and pediatric cancer is it has come very far, but unfortunately there's only 4% of federal funding per year. So I said, this will be our way of giving back. We have to give to Sloan. The amazing thing that they do is that when you fundraise for them, I can actually sit with his oncologist and he can give me some trials that they're working on. And he can say, okay, this is priority of what we really need funding for. And then list the 10 things that he thinks that we could contribute to if we wish to. So that day when he was in remission, I told my family, I said, we're giving back. We're gonna have a fundraising gala. I know everyone's been cooped up in the house for the past 2 years. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get everybody out, as long as they're comfortable, have a great night, and raise as much as we possibly could.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's such a great thing. And it's so inspiring that something so, tragic and I'm sure traumatizing and, emotionally just like damaging, that you guys are turning this into something so amazing. And, a lot of the times people, when they're struggling through something, it's always like why me, or why do I have to be here? And why am I doing this? You're taking it into such a positive light. You're so appreciative of all the people that helped you and got you like through everything and all of that. And it's just so inspiring. And I think that it's going to be a really great night. I'm excited to go.
I can't wait.
That's awesome. So what are some things that he was saying, like that? So here you guys are allowed to like kind of select what you guys can fundraise for in the research.
Sure. So they have several different trials. It's a team of neuroblastoma scientists and oncologists that they work on certain things. So Rocco, even though he's in remission, he's on a vaccine trial. He completed the antibodies, which was several months, actually over a year. We did that, and now he's on to the vaccine trial. So he is in remission. However, he has continuing treatment. The reason for it is because this particular cancer has a very high relapse rate.
Wow.
2 of his friends who he was being treated with at the same time had relapsed once, one of them, and another relapsed 2 times already. So it's something that we have to continue to give treatment for. And Sloan continues to put their minds and their efforts into trying to prevent this relapse, and to cure these children to the best of their ability.
Yeah. I think that like overall, anyone that you really hear from, it's just going to be like, it's always that they have such a great experience at Memorial Sloan.
They are incredible.
One of our board members on Mission Helping Hands, he was at Memorial Sloan. He loved it there. He only has such a things. He goes on Thanksgiving, brings them pies. He's so thankful for them. And it's just everywhere you hear, it's great things about them. So it's really good to give back to them and stuff like that. So obviously what you do in your situation is just amazing and inspiring, but what's some advice to parents or other family members of people, whose children are suffering?
Sorry, you hear my son in the background. Okay. So I think the biggest thing is I got my strength from him. The first day that I met Rocco's oncologist, he said to me, listen, he gave us the plan, our next 6 months. He laid it out and told us what we have to look forward to. I'm sorry, this is my youngest, Carmine.
Hi.
So he laid it out for us. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And I said, "This is unbelievable what we're about to face." And he said, "Listen, children are resilient." And I said, "I don't know if that's possible." But truly, Rocco, after treatment, after chemo, vomiting, not being able to drink, to eat, he had a smile on his face. He
Yeah.
was still able to move on and to enjoy his hospital stays as best as he could. So it was truly he gave me my strength. And I think that they feed off of our energy and our strength as well. So it's important that we keep up the good energy and the positive spirits, and you move on and you continue on, and trying to get through those terrible days, and you do whatever you can to get your child through it, because at the end of the day you're all that they have, and you're going to be the person to get them through it.
Yeah,
Go Rocco.
definitely.
Go Rocco.
And also, on one of our previous guests on the show, Warren Hance, unfortunately, he lost his three daughters in a car accident. And I asked him the same question, and I was like, what do you do to like stay strong? Like, what advice would you give someone to that's in a situation like that?
Mhm.
And he said like a structure, just like staying positive, a structure. He's like, every morning I feel like I don't want to get out of bed, but no matter what, I get out of bed, I go get
Mhm.
an egg sandwich, I read the newspaper, and if I go back in bed right after that, it's fine. It's just I need to do something to keep
Right.
myself alive and keep myself
Right.
like moving and stuff like that. And it
Sure.
sounds a lot like, that's something similar to what you're doing, that you need something to do, that he's just keeping you so motivated, and you need to, stay positive. It's very
Right. And
hard.
these children feed off of your energy. So if you're
Mhm.
having a bad day, they feel it, they know it, they sense it. So I think that was the biggest thing. Just stay positive. The day he was diagnosed, I looked at him and I said, "Rocco, Gabriel, we're going to get through this. You have no choice. You
Yeah.
are going to get through this, and I will do whatever it takes to get you through it."
Yeah. That's all. Oh, I can't like, I understand you're so strong in the way that you're talking and everything. It just, I can't imagine obviously going through something like that, but you're so strong and resilient. And I'm sure that has a lot, obviously the treatments and all of the surgeries and stuff are the primary reason. But I think that how strong you are has such an impact and such an effect on how successful everything was for him and how
Right.
healthy now. So how is Rocco doing now after all of this?
Rocco is doing amazing. If you met Rocco today and you knew his backstory and this is the first time you met him, you would say, "No way. Did he really go through all that?" But sure enough, he truly went through all of that. If you look at his little body, he has scars up and down it.
Yeah.
But he has very positive spirits. He goes to school, he enjoys life. To the best of his ability. I mean, we have some complications, some underlying issues. He still has some pains. His legs still don't cooperate all the time.
Yeah.
He has a very weak immune system, but we're working on it. And it's things that hopefully in the near future we'll be able to move on from and say, "Hey, he's doing much better now, and he's in a lot better place than he was."
Yeah, definitely. And it's great to see that he, like, even just in the pictures or following you on Instagram, he's out doing things and he's enjoying his life. And I'm sure when he gets older, he's going to be so thankful that you guys, let him live his life. I feel like if this were me, I would be so scared. Like, right now, if I babysit my little cousins or something, like if there's someone walking by, I'm grabbing them, I'm holding on to them. I'm like, I'm too scared to even let
Hmm.
you run
Hmm.
5 feet ahead of me.
Sure.
I feel like
Sure.
I would be
I
pulling
mean,
the baby like, oh, I
I
do not
know, I
want
know.
to do
It's
it.
true. But you know what? With his diagnosis, the first thing we learned is life is too short because you just never know
Definitely.
when that could be taken away. So we do the best. We live our life. I know people say, "Oh, you should be a little more cautious with COVID." We had it twice. Thank God
Yeah.
we were fine. We got over it. We recovered from it just recently in December. We recovered from it fairly quickly, thank goodness.
Oh, wow.
But then he gets sick with other viruses, and they hurt him worse than COVID did. So there's always those scary issues that we have to be careful with. But I will never stop him from enjoying life.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. I feel like that's also something so true. Everyone's like very cautious, obviously, about COVID and stuff like that. But, you know, the cold, like a cold or something with babies and stuff like that, like it could happen to anything. And the fact that he's gone through this already, that you're right, life is so short that you can't, limit him or allow him to do that. So that's so awesome. So tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up, the gala.
sure. So on March 24th, we have a fundraising gala. It's going to be at the El Carib in Brooklyn. We have some incredible performers, surprise guests, a lot of entertainment. The master of ceremony will be Joe Quasi. He's a big time Brooklyn guy, Brooklyn's own Joe Quasi. He reached out to me after he saw our flyer and he said, "Hey, do you have a master of ceremony?" We said we did not yet. It was like the first week we posted it. And he said, "Put me in, you're in my calendar." I said, "Great." So we're very excited for that. We have tons of entertainment. We have so many people in the community. I cannot be any more grateful for all of the people who have reached out, donating time, merchandise, cake tables, decorations, flowers, just their time and effort in helping us with the baskets, our committee. But the event itself it's definitely going to be a very fun event. And I think a lot of us have been waiting to go out and to enjoy a night out, and this will be the night.
Definitely. And also to celebrate Rocco and to celebrate you and your husband and your other son just for being so resilient and getting through it. And I'm excited to celebrate with you guys.
Yes.
So what are some, like, we plan events with Mission Helping Hands all the time that are these my event was a golf outing and I was so stressed out with the golf outing with the raffles. And then it was like, we're posting planning, like donations, this, that. And then like 2 weeks before, it's like you get this influx of registration, this influx of donations and all this stuff. And then after they're like, "Well, why didn't you tell me? I would have done this, this, and this." And I'm like, oh my God, like I was so stressed for like 6 months and now the event's coming and everything just comes right together.
Right.
Is that what you're feeling like is happening right now?
So I have a full-time job. I have my 2 children who are another full-time job. But I have to say, like I have a great committee of females, cousins, friends who have experience with it, who don't have experience, who really just are so involved in helping and trying to make sure that we're organized, get everything done. I've sat on many boards for fundraising committees in the past.
Oh, really?
I have, yes. One actually, a funny story is I was on the board for Sunrise Day Camp for a fundraising committee. And exactly 1 year before Rocco was diagnosed was the first time I did that fundraising committee. And that's for a summer camp for children with cancer.
Wow.
And the next year, my son was eligible to join and participate in that camp. So
wow,
you just never know. I mean, you always think like this will never be us, but unfortunately it happens and there's no way around it. So it's back to the committee. I think we just have a great group of women who are helping, getting raffle baskets together and doing everything we can to try to make sure we're organized up leading to the actual event.
Yeah, definitely. And if you need any help, obviously we'll all be willing to.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
how
you.
I feel. Like Mission Helping Hands, when we had our event, it was like the week before my basement. I think my mom was ready to kill me, but my basement was just flooded with like raffle baskets. I had random people, everyone that I knew was in my house helping me with these baskets. And they were like, "Oh, like if someone was like, oh, like if you need help, let me know." I'm like, "Yeah, we do. Like you can come be at my house. This is my address."
Yes.
We'll be here
Never turn down help, of course.
Yes.
Never
I'm
ever
like, "Yeah,
turn
we
down
could
help.
definitely use some help and it'll be here, here, and here." And honestly, like at the event and everything and how successful it was, everyone was like giving me so much like praise, like, "Oh, you did such a great thing." And like honestly, I felt like a lot of the time it was just more like delegation. Whereas like if I didn't have the help from all of these people, I would not have been able to put the event together and to that magnitude.
Absolutely.
But talking about how you were on other foundations and stuff, we're actually Mission Helping Hands. We haven't really officially announced it yet, but one of our foundations we're donating to this year, it's on June 26th at the Plaid Deutsch in Franklin Square. It's a beer garden. We're doing like a rock out cancer type of thing, and it's for a foundation for pediatric cancer research. And I believe they donate to Sloan Kettering too, because one of our board members, Gianna, the young girl, was from her town in Rockville Center. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so she like what happens with us is that we do each of our board members, it'll be 1 or 2 board members, and each of them chair an event. So Gianna and Francesco and Serafino, the 3 of them are chairing the event, and they decided to do that because it's from Gianna's town, and the daughter went to her kid's school. So it's going to be really awesome, and it's crazy how many different foundations stem from such personal experiences. And like if you read the mission statements, or if you go on websites, like I went on your website and stuff, and like how it's founded, so many things that just started from someone's personal experience. And that's kind of how really everybody in our organization started. Was we, like, our organization, each event gets donated to another nonprofit, but
Okay.
all of us joined our nonprofit for a reason, and all of our events, it's for something that hits close to home with us. The golf outing was in honor of my cousin and my best friend Alexis, her brother. You know, the board member John, his was for the Cowley Foundation. He was a firefighter who died in 9/11 because he is a FDNY firefighter. He knew him and his brother for years. So I feel like that gives you more passion, and that gives you the drive to make it successful and really, like, put more effort in. Not that you wouldn't be giving effort if it wasn't your, but you are, like, you live and breathe for this because you have such a passion for it. And that's really, you know, what makes it all successful. And I think that passion is really important. And that's probably how you guys are going to be so successful.
Sure.
So how can someone buy
it truly is personal. And I think not only just from our experience, but just being at Sloan and going onto the 9th floor and seeing all of these children, some missing limbs, some with one eye, no eyes. It truly gets to you. And I think this is our way of saying thank you, God, for saving our child. And now we have to do whatever we can to save as many other children as we can.
Definitely. And that's such a great thing. And I couldn't even, like, it's so sad to think of all like that. You say, like missing limbs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And if any little bit, like, even like just for me, like attending the gala, like if that makes some sort of difference, then I'll be happy. And that was my biggest thing for the golf outing. I was like, if I just affect like one person, like mine was for overdose awareness. So my cousin passed away from an overdose. My best friend, Alexis, her brother, Anthony, passed away from an overdose. Many of my family members suffered with addiction. So it was something that was so close to home for me. And I was like, you know what? Like, if this event just like touches one person, like, then I'll be so happy that someone got the point across, like something made a difference out of it. And, we were able to donate $15,000 to the Heron Project for it. But honestly, the most fulfilling thing at that golf outing was like, after I was speaking and stuff and we were doing the raffles and everything started dying down, someone came up to me and I didn't know who he was. And everyone was coming up to me the whole night, like, oh, you're doing great. Like, great thing. Like, thanks so much. And he was crying and he was like, you have no idea, because I had no idea that this golf outing was for overdose awareness. I thought that my friend invited me into one of his like foursomes, and I came. He was like, and my son overdosed 2 weeks ago and passed away. And I had no idea. And I needed this. And I had the information cards for the organization, the Heron Project, there. And there was like a grief counseling. I wasn't even really looking at it when I was putting it all out. One of the pamphlets was a grief counseling for parents. And he was like, I'm going to take this home with me, for me and my wife. And like, we need something like this. And like, we've been looking for it. And like, I feel like God really brought me to this event today. And I just remember like absolutely breaking down crying. Like I was held it together the whole day. And then after that, I was like, that's all I wanted. Like that was my one goal after the event, was just some sort of difference. And if that was the difference I made, then now I'm happy.
And even if that's amazing.
Yeah. Even if it's the littlest thing, that's what made me happy.
It's a huge impact. It may be little to you, but it could be a huge impact on someone else. So
exactly. So if someone would like to buy tickets to your event, can they do that?
Sure. So they can go to www.roccostrong.org. Also, we have our Venmo. Our Venmo is at Rocco Strong, or they can Zelle as well. They can reach out to me. My cell phone number is on the flyer, to purchase their tickets. If they just want to know that they're attending or a donation, they can do that as well.
Awesome. So, and you said it's only like 2 days left to buy tickets, right?
There's 2 or 3 days left. We'll make an exception. I know this interview is came a little bit late, okay. But we'll accept. I just didn't want that rush at the end, because I want to try to have the seating done. We already have over 400 guests that will be attending. We've raised over 100,000 already, so we're doing very well. I want it to be a successful event. My goal is to raise 250. I'll do whatever it takes to do that. If we have to have another event to do it, I'll do it. This is my goal in my head, is 250 is what I would like to hand over to MSK.
I think you could do it too. It seems like you guys are so passionate about it and working hard, and I think you could definitely do it. So, and then also I saw on Instagram there's sponsorship levels. Is that still available?
Yes.
Okay, so I saw that you could buy a table, or she also has things like where you could sponsor the videographer, sponsor the photographer. So if you go on their Instagram, you can look and it'll have all of that. If you can't attend any of your companies or organizations, anybody that your business may want to sponsor the event, they can do that as well if you're unable to attend the event.
Yes, yes. And we also have a sponsorship for nurses. So we did a sponsorship level for to sponsor a nurse and a guest. So we invited many nurses that have treated or helped Rocco and with a guest, thanks to so many people that have donated and sponsored that.
That's awesome. Wow. I think that's such a great idea too, because, you know, some of them, maybe if they, you know, can't afford it or something, or can't afford babysitting with that, you know, then they get the ticket for free so they can go and enjoy the night and celebrate all the success that they're doing. So on lighter notes, what should I wear? What is my, I'm excited for this. The place looks beautiful.
So most of us ladies are excited to get dressed up. We'll be wearing gowns or very nice dresses. Men wear suits. I think we'll have a very good mix. We have some businessmen, we have some just family, like it'll be a nice mix. But I'm excited. I have a couple of gowns that I haven't decided
I know. I'm so excited to wear some, like a nice dress. Like
I know, to actually go out. I know.
Yeah, I feel like everything, even like our Christmas parties and stuff with work and everything, all of that kind of got scaled down a little bit because of COVID. So I'm excited to actually go all out, get nice and dressed up. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on. And if anybody has any questions, again, you guys can go on to the Instagram, the Rocco Strong Instagram, or the website. You could just DM her. When I bought my ticket, she answered like in 2 seconds. So you'll be able to do that, but get your tickets as soon as possible because they, you know, again, she said they have like 400 people already. So before it sells out, get your tickets.
Seats are limited. Yes.
Yeah. And if you guys want to donate or you're interested in being a sponsor or something, again, just go on the Instagram. All the information is very like out in detail on the flyer. So yeah, but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for this. Awesome. And thank you for everything you're doing. This is
thank you. And
beautiful.
I can't wait to see you guys, and I can't wait to celebrate at the event.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Be well.
Thanks. So now next guest is going to be Scott. Scott is from Mission Helping Hands. And he is going to announce our first event of the year. I'm so excited now talking about events, celebrating, donations. Now I'm getting excited. So I want something to plan and organize. So we're going to bring Scott on and he's going to talk about our first event. Hi, Scott. What's up?
What's up, Tori?
Okay, so Scott is a board member on Mission Helping Hands. He volunteered a lot last year, and we asked him to be on the board for the 2022 year. And I've known Scott since I was in high school, really good friends. Right. So he knows how crazy I am with organization, so he allows me to be. So Scott is chairing his own event this year. He helped out on all of the events last year. He attended every event and was such a great help. But this year he is having his own, and it's the first event of Mission Helping Hands 2022 season. So pressure's on, Scott.
That's right.
So how did you join Mission Helping Hands? With like, what made you want to join us?
Yeah, so I guess it started your guys' first event. I think it was your mom's event, right? The fun run, the 24-hour run.
Yeah.
Obviously we worked together, so you know, you guys had the meetings and promoted Mission Helping Hands. You know, Meadowbrook obviously facilitates us. So when your mom's promoting the event, you know, obviously wanted to come out there and just help out in the beginning any way I could and obviously participate. And then from there, I just wanted to, you know, get into more events. The next event, I'm pretty sure, was Gym Swim, which was in San Francisco. So that was a trip. I went on, you know, we went to San Francisco with, you know, a bunch of members from the board. So I got to know them a little bit better. I got to know Jim really well and, you know, learn a little bit more about, you know, how he started Mission Helping Hands. And it was pretty inspiring, obviously. And then from there, you know, I did philanthropy a lot in college. So, you know, it felt familiar and it hit home with me. But, you know, at the time I just wanted to and just participate and, you know, volunteer my time. And from there, like I said, I got to know a lot of people on the board more. Obviously, we have me, you, and your mom have obviously had a relationship for a long time. So You know, it was awesome just like to work together and raise money, doing a lot of good for a lot of charities. And yeah, you guys were, you know, grateful enough to welcome me on the board. And so far it's been a blast. So I got to help out with, you know, some big events ending off the year, like your golf outing and the bar crawl, which were really successful, really fun events. It was really cool to see firsthand how much money we raised at the end of the year. You know, we hit our goal, $100,000. So, and then, you know, now I'm just really excited to kick off this year with the first event. So, yeah.
So when you joined Mission Helping Hands and you wanted to help volunteer, did you think we were going to make you run for 24 hours straight overnight? And
I mean, after that, everything was easy. That was, you know, that was
yeah. I feel like that was it. Like that was our first event ever. So that was kind of something that
right.
Everyone kind of was like, what? Like they made you guys run for 24 full hours. Like you probably were like, okay, maybe I shouldn't join this foundation since I have to stay overnight and run. And yeah. So
it was a good bonding experience.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely was. But you when you went to San Francisco and you saw what Jim was doing directly and all of that stuff, is that really what made you want to be a part of it and have your own event? Like what was your moment where you were like, I really want to have my own event?
Yeah, so I mean that definitely started it, right? Obviously what Jim was doing is really cool. What everybody was doing on the board is really, really awesome, really inspiring. But what I liked about Mission Helping Hands and what we do is that we really focus, and you mentioned it earlier, we really focus on like charities or foundations that need exposure, right? That need more awareness, and you know, the funding can make more of an impact to them, more of an immediate impact to them. They're usually personal to people on the board. So again, like you said, it drives passion to each member doing the event. So that's something that really drew me in. You know, I have, you know, a lot of you know, overlapping, I guess, you know, personal experiences with some charities, right? You know, my mom had cancer way back when. She's a breast cancer survivor. So anything we did for any type of cancer, you know, always hits home. You know, we did stuff last year for, you know, first responders and police. So, you know, my dad's a cop, and we obviously have a lot of family and friends that are, you know, first responders. So little things like that, you know, it really hit home that they were doing charities for families, smaller foundations where, like I said, the money really makes an immediate impact. And again, you mentioned earlier too, it's even at the events, the relationships and the people you meet really helps give you and other people like a different perspective on your life. And Jim says it all the time, how grateful and privileged he is, you know, to live the life that he lives when he always gets on the mic at certain events. And
yeah,
how he started it. It's true, right? Like we come from a great town, you know, good upbringings, and you know, obviously we've had, you know, obstacles to go through in our personal lives, but you realize from other people and other stories at these events how much of an impact, you know, we have on their lives and what we can do by just hosting these events. And you know, it doesn't even matter how much money we raise. I mean, money is obviously very important, but the relationships and the people they meet, you know, that goes a long way.
Definitely. And I think that, again, like us working in mortgages and seeing how on, like, you know, with your dad being a cop, seeing what was going on in like the city, the poverty, you know, how things were so crazy and so horrible for certain people. And then we were just at work, the busiest we ever were, like
we were doing really good,
making the most money that they ever made. Yeah. And we were just thriving. Our business was thriving while others were suffering. And it's like almost like a sense of guilt where like, what can we do to help? And I think that even if like the people on our board don't have something personal that they really, really want to donate to, or they want to have an event for, it's just kind of giving back to being thankful on how like successful we've all been while others are suffering so much. So why don't you tell us about your upcoming event so we can get into that and that charity?
Yeah, sure. So the upcoming event is, we named the Catch for a Cause. It's a softball tournament. I'm really excited for it. So we're aiming for 16 teams. We have 2 fields. So, you know, we want it to be a really fun day where everybody get out, be competitive and obviously, you know, not too competitive, but have a lot of fun, interact with a lot of people, meet a lot of different people. and really kick off the year with something fun. On top of that, we're going to have a DJ there, and I'm trying to get, vendors there, which would be fun,
Yeah.
and more activities to do for people that aren't going to play, but we do want to make it like welcoming for people that are going to be necessarily players to come out and watch. We're raising money
definitely.
for.
I think also like having people like there at the event builds the environment, and
Right.
we're not going to be playing, but there's going to be cornhole, there's going
Right.
to be can jam, the DJ is going to be going. I'm sure the DJ like at the fun run brought hula hoops and stuff. So
Mhm.
even if your husband's playing and you want to bring your kids, I think it'll be a great day all around to spread money, to spread awareness and raise a lot of money for a great cause. So tell us about the cause that we are donating to.
Yeah, so we're going to raise money for the Fagan Residence, right next door to us in Elmont. They are basically their residential like treatment facility, assisted living. They do everything from people with Down syndrome or people with just both, the physical and intellectual disabilities that couldn't live on their own or independently. And I chose this again because Mission Helping Hands, because we do such specific and smaller foundations and charities where the money can make a lot of impact. The money that's going to the Fagan Residence is all 100% going to them. It's not going to any salary, which I really liked. And I think it can make a really immediate impact. And another reason why I wanted to do like a softball game or something outside is because I wanted to get the charity or the foundation, the Fagan Residence, to get involved, to participate in some way. Right now we're brainstorming, but we're definitely going to do something in between, like the semifinals and the championship game, where we have the kids or whoever can make it. Do some activities on the field and really showcase them, give them exposure, and really start giving them more awareness that they deserve.
I think it's awesome that the residents we're gonna try work on getting the residents down there so that people can really see like what they're there for, what is going on, like what they're supporting. Just a couple of us on Mission Helping Hands are going to the Fagan Residence in March. The end of March, already in March, but in the end of March to go and see what they do there. But I already have gone there before, and I kind of told you about it. But for people who don't know what the Fagan Residence is, I went there in high school, and basically it's adults with Down syndrome or very high functioning autism where they need assistance with living. Your parent, like their parents are taking care of them and their primary caretaker for the first half of their lives, but then the parents either get too old to take care of them or they're working and they need immediate attention. They're put in these residences. And at first when I wanted to go there, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. It's kind of sad. Like these adults are living there. They live the best life there. Like they're living their best lives. Like I went in around Christmas time in December, and we decorated the whole entire house for Christmas. We put up their Christmas trees. We did arts and crafts. They all have jobs like within there, so it's teaching them like basic life skills. They often take field trips out places. Our event will probably be a field trip, and they bring them and do things and help them. So when we were trying to find a charity, which is something that I also struggled with my charities, was a lot of these places that provide services like this, a big percent goes to salary. And that's something that we're very against at Mission Helping Hands. And I struggled with it when trying to find a foundation for the golf outing. And I know you struggled with it with this, is that if you go on certain foundations websites, they'll disclose to you that they take 70% for salary, which is I think was one of the foundations you were looking into. And that's just, for us, we'd rather a lot less. I think we don't take under 20%. If like more than 20% is going to salary, then we don't, because not all foundations are like Mission Helping Hands where it's fully volunteer based. A foundation like the Fagan Residence or the Heron Project, where they need to pay people to provide the assistance and the work, that they need to pay a salary at that point. The Fagan Residence actually agreed to donate 100% of the proceeds to the residents' needs, like anything that resident needs. It's not going to go to their salaries. Even the people that are working at the Fagan Residence, it's not going to the salary of the workers there. It's going strictly to the resources at the Fagan Residence. It's going to, food, arts and crafts, decorations, bedding, towels, soap, anything for them to live there, because they're not living there. They're living there for free. So someone needs to be paying the bills, obviously. So the Catholic Charities agreed to donate 100% to the resources for the foundation, which I think is awesome.
Yep.
And we're really happy about, because that's something that we really pride ourselves on, is not taking a salary. So them not taking any part of the salary for this event is really important. And I think it's awesome. So why did you select the Fagan Residence? I know you really wanted to work on with something with adults with Down syndrome. What inspired you? You went to a golf outing?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. So yeah, the main thing was, so my parents' friends, their son has Down syndrome. So my dad went to the golf outing to raise money for Down syndrome, but he came back and just couldn't stop talking about it, how awesome it was. They had people there for a foundation that they were raising money for assisted living for Down syndrome, and he was like, it's something that's overlooked. And when he was talking to the young adults and the volunteers there, the people that worked there, he was exposed to it, and he it was something never crossed his mind that assisted living, that they need exposure, they need awareness, and that's what we do. That's our wheelhouse. That's the whole point of Mission Helping Hands. So I thought it'd be great to pick a charity that encompassed that, because we have already covered so many great foundations. So definitely wanted to find something where we could help that we didn't cover yet, but also personally too with the Fagan Residence, it's not, they do more than just Down syndrome. Obviously Down syndrome is awesome, but like you mentioned, like people with severe like autism. So a cousin of mine actually, he lives in assisted living in Boston. Obviously he's from here, but he has very severe autism, can't speak, hard for, probably couldn't live on his own. So he needs to go in one of these facilities. He's my age, and yeah, just something, even with that, I would have never thought like needed funding so bad. It's definitely something that gets overlooked. So I thought, the best way, bring that to light with Mission Helping Hands, softball tournament where we could get them to participate, be a great way to showcase, the foundation and really get people involved. And like we mentioned before, the workers and everybody there is very volunteer based. So regardless of the money that we're able to raise, which I think is going to be really successful, but regardless to that, we're going to give them exposure where other people are going to be willing to volunteer, right? Especially when they meet the kids, or the adults, young adults. Hopefully that really gives perspective to certain people and really inspires them to work with this charity and these foundations. So
I think definitely them witnessing like the residents and seeing all the work that they do, and even just us, like our board members, when we go there to do the volunteering before the event, it's going to really bring us to light on what we're going to be doing and what we're raising money for. When I went there, I just thought it was, I had the real reason why I went was because I was on class board. We needed, volunteer hours in order to be on class board. So the school organized this, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I went there, and then every other time after that, when I noticed that they had a volunteer for that, I signed up, class board or not class board. I really wanted to go because I just felt like the work they were doing there was so important. And like you're saying, it's very overlooked. I feel like a lot of the fundraisings or foundations and stuff that I see mainstream are like children with Down syndrome, and even the advertisements are the children, and it's all about kids. And and a lot of the times the kids' parents are the primary caretaker. One of the parents that goes to work and one stays home with the child, or they have an aide, living in their house, something like that. When you get to a certain age and, like unfortunately the parent passes away, or the adult is too old to be living, or they sometimes these adults want to get out of the house with their parents. They want to feel a little bit of independence and a little bit of normalcy. So something like this is extremely important. It's not something that people really think about, that they don't realize that these people have to go and live somewhere, and they have to live regular lives after that when they grow up. So I think that it being for adults is very important also, because just raising money for Down syndrome. Not that there's anything like against that, but a lot of the Down syndrome fundraisers and stuff are for children, and Down syndrome is in children. But the adult is something so overlooked, and that's really something that Mission Helping Hands is always about, the smaller scale foundations that need exposure, or something that's overlooked that needs exposure, or something that is a stigma that people don't want to talk about type of thing. This is something that we do. Like with John's event was donated in honor of 9/11 to the Coley Foundation. People, when you think of a 9/11 foundation, you think of tunnels to towers.
Right.
So
exactly.
We do for the Coley Foundation because they're more lower, like large, less of a larger scale foundation, but their work is so passionate and so hands-on, and it's in honor of, obviously Michael Coley, and his mom runs the foundation. She's there, and it's just awesome. And I think that it's really exciting that we're doing this because it's going to bring awareness to something that not a lot of people know. And the Fagan Residence is so local to all of us. We're having the event at Cedar Creek Park to the Fagan Residence are like 20 minutes apart. So if people are inspired, then hopefully maybe we can get some people that are going to be volunteering at the Fagan Residence themselves. Not only if you can't donate, maybe they'll sign up to volunteer and help out and do stuff, because honestly, it's crazy. When I went there, I remember I went in Christmas the first time, and they were awesome. They were so excited that everyone came, and, they were having a great time. We were, it was a different change in pace for them. It wasn't just the staff that worked there spending time with them and doing crafts and hanging out. It was all new faces, new people. And I went in December. We set up for Christmas, and I think the next one was either St. Patrick's Day or Easter. And I remember when I walked in, the girl that I was sitting with ran up to me and hugged me and said Tori, and ran over and remembered my name, and she met me once. And I was like, oh my God, how does she remember? And the lady was like, she's very, very intelligent. She has the mind of an elephant where she can remember anything. And they have a blast. These residents, they have so much fun when you go there and visit. And it's going to be so much fun when we go there and volunteer.
Yep.
But I think everyone seeing them at the event, maybe they'll be inspired to volunteer also and see what's going on.
100%. Yeah.
So how do you feel about having your own event this year? Are you nervous?
A little bit, but it's been fun. I think the obstacles, the hardest obstacles have already been, put to bed. Just getting the fields and the dates really the biggest thing. Like you were mentioning earlier, everything kind of, I feel, comes together towards the end. I've done smaller events in college with my fraternity for philanthropy events and things like that. So it's not totally new to me, but obviously we have a great board. I have so much help, so much resources. You've obviously been a great help, reaching out to people. Everybody has great input. Everybody's, trying to help any way they can, offering, their network of people. We have people on the board whose friends are DJs, other people who, whose friends are going to come out and sponsor us and are going to already have teams which are filling up fast. So if you want to register as soon as possible because slots are filling up.
Yeah, definitely something I'm jealous about with Scott is that he literally, within one day of posting it, all 16 teams were spoken for. And I was I was scrambling for foursomes in the golf outing up until the week before. And you're freaking out. And I'm like, I can't even deal with you right now that you're freaking out because you have all your slots.
I mean, listen, everything else, there's still some things to iron out, but no, yeah, it should be a great day. It should be, a really fun time, but everything usually comes together closer to the event because, really with these events, especially the ones that require, an activity, it really comes down to all the people that are going to be there and all the people coming out to support to create the atmosphere. So that's the biggest thing. I mean, we could have, the most flashy things, at any event, but it's really the people that come out to the event. That's what really makes it special. So that's what we're focusing on. We're marketing and we're pushing. But I mean, it's exciting. I want it to be an annual thing. So obviously, I'm trying to make sure everything's perfect, but there's going to be things that are always going to, need to be worked on. But I think overall, everybody's doing a good job. I have all the help and resources I need. So, not too worried.
And back to your environment comment, I feel that's so important too. The golf outing, I felt so much was going wrong, in certain points. And the next day, I remember we came into work and everyone was like, that was the best golf outing I ever went to. Oh my God, we had so much fun. And it really had to do with the people, like everyone around us, that like the atmosphere. I don't think anyone was like even like stop smiling the entire time. Everyone was just having so much fun. It was a great group, a great crowd. And I think that's what made it so successful was how awesome everyone was. Everyone came out, supported, and did things. And I feel like that's already going to be what's going to happen with the softball tournament, because I can tell already that it's going to be a great time based off of all the people we already have signing up. And DJ Napoli, he actually DJ'd the 24-hour run, and he is also donating his time again for the softball tournament, which is going to be awesome. So we're going to have music, dancing, you know, if you bring your kids out, there's going to be like can jam, cornhole, all that stuff. So it's going to be an overall great day, not just for people playing softball, but just for people to come down, hang out, see. So also, let's get into the particulars. If someone wants to register a team, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so you could, we have our registration forms. They've been circling around on Instagram, Facebook, even put it on LinkedIn. Just click on the link. It's a registration form. Fill it out with your team, and put, you know, obviously all your information on there. Send that back to us. If you're having any trouble, you know, we post all the time. Feel free to direct message us. Just send us a message. We'll help you out. We'll send you the registration form. It's quick and easy. You can reach out to me or anybody else on the board. And once you have your team registered, we'll solidify your spot, and we'll get the brackets ready for the tournament, and we'll have a good day.
Definitely. So if you guys need any other information, you can DM the Instagram Mission Helping Hands LI. We have an email address, info@missionhelpinghandsli.org. Email us if you have the registration form and need to send it in. Email us the registration form, DM it to us, send it to anybody that is on there. We also have a GoFundMe that is being put on down here. If you guys want to click on it, if you can't attend and you'd like to donate. We also have some sponsorship levels. So the sponsorship levels are going to be our whole tournament sponsor, and it's $5,000. A representative from your company gets to throw out the first pitch. Then they're also going to present the MVP of the tournament, which I haven't told anyone in my family yet there's an MVP, but now that they know that, there's going to be a lot of drama and a lot of competition. There's going to be an MVP of the tournament, and the tournament sponsor will be presenting the MVP at the end of the championship game. Mm-hmm. They'll have banners and a plaque, just like at the golf outing. There's also the home plate sponsor. One's already spoken for after, again, one day of posting it. Thanks, God. And there's only two, one on each field, and it'll be a banner behind home plate, and they're the home plate sponsors. And then we just have regular sponsors like we did for the golf outings, where you'll have your signs with your information, and those are $150. The home plate one is $1,500 too. So there's a lot of different sponsorship levels. If anybody, if any companies want to come out and support and, show that the company support. If, I know a couple of companies have already reached out. It is Easter weekend, so their company representatives aren't unable to come, but they want to sponsor and show support that way, which also, of course, is extremely important. But I think that it's going to be awesome. Smiles at Scott's the MVP. I can't wait till everyone in my family I get off of this. They're going to be calling me saying, I didn't know there was an MVP.
They're going to be competing against each other on the same team.
Exactly. 100%. Once everybody at work finds out, like Jeff, Jack, Mike, Balzano, everybody, they're all going to be competing against each other. Diving in front of each other to make the plays to get the MVP trophy. That's going to be the new thing that everyone wants to win for. But yeah, so tell us about the game. So we're going to have double elimination.
Yeah, so it's going to be double elimination. We're going to keep the game 7 innings. This way people, you'll have a lot of opportunities to get at bat. Even if, let's say, the team's not doing well, you'll get your time to shine. You'll get your 15 seconds of fame, to make some plays. But yeah, it'll be double elimination. We're going to have the bracket set up, visual for everybody to see. So it'll be 7 innings. We're looking to do like a 1 pitch. So everything moves pretty efficiently. The games go by pretty quick, but it's going to be that, and then a big championship game at the end. We'll do in between, like I said, I want to have the people from the charity to hopefully participate in some activities leading up to the championship game, and we'll make it a good time.
Definitely. And again, there's going to be a championship trophy, which is also going to have some competition that people are going to want the championship tropy.
We'll be the first annual champion.
Yep, our
There you
first
go.
annual champion. I remember the first annual champions of the golf outing were Dave Terezzo and his team. So let's see who takes it home this year. I definitely going to be a Meadowbrook competition, to say the least, after Dave won the golf outing. So I know everyone's going to try and beat him with that. But it's going to be really fun. So basically, for a team, it's going to be $500.
Mm-hmm.
With the $500 purchase of the team, you get 12 t-shirts. The t-shirts are just like our first annual softball tournament t-shirts. They're not t-shirts for you to like physically play in. You guys can bring your own shirts if you guys are on teams, want custom shirts. You get 12 shirts. You can have as many people on the team as you want. If you want to bring, 13 or 14, that's fine. You just only will get the 12 shirts. Due to product being harder to get right now, we need to order all of the shirts as soon as possible. Yeah. And we needed to get them in now and order a certain amount. So, you only need 12 on the 10 on the field. So that's already 2 extra, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you'll have extra, and then you can have as many people as you want. You guys should fight over it, whoever plays better. So
yeah. Whoever plays better gets the shirts. We'll also have some shirts to sell. Limited shirts to sell for some people that are attending. If, the kids want some, or your wives, or, it is co-ed. Everyone keeps saying that, but everyone keeps laughing at the girls that want to join. But I would do pretty good if I was playing, because I played softball.
Yeah, you should play.
That was in Little League. Yeah, so it's going to be really fun. It is going to be competitive in somewhat, but not too competitive, where people are, it is for charity. So we do want to keep it really fun. So even though we're joking around about the MVP and the trophy, it's going to be fun, not too bad. We don't want any fights. And there's going to be the same pitcher for both fields at all times. It's not going to be
automatic pitchers. Yep.
Yes, it's going to be an automatic pitcher. That way people don't, it's all the same, right? I'm not sure about softball tournaments and stuff, but that was something that was important that we should add in there also. But yeah, if you guys want to purchase a team, or you guys want to register, then just DM us on Instagram, email us, and sign up. Again, I think like almost every team is like spoken for at this point, but by whoever gets the money in first gets the money in first. Right. First come, first serve. And we will put, we'll keep it open until we sell all 16 slots. If you guys do want to become a sponsor, also DM us on Instagram again, or email us. It's only $150 for the signs. They're just like the lawn signs. We can send you the lawn signs after. That way you guys have the paraphernalia saying that you guys were a sponsor for our first annual softball tournament. A lot of the companies that sponsored last for the golf outing loved that, and it was awesome. And again, the home plate sponsor, we already have one spoken for, but there is another one. So there will be behind where they at your stands, the backstop. Yeah. And we already have one spoken for. It's $1,500, and you're going to be in all the pictures. Your banner's going to be in all the pictures of everyone batting, because you're going to be right there. And then we'll be presented with a plaque, obviously, just like at the golf outing. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an overall great day. So yeah, are you excited?
Yeah, very excited. It's coming up quick. It's already. I know,
definitely coming up quick. So if you are interested, let us know as soon as possible, because we are again selling out quick. But thanks, Scott, for coming, and it was a great show, and I'm really excited.
It's awesome.
Okay. So if anyone has any questions, just again, message us, email us, or if you're unable to attend, click the link. It's going to be across here, or it's also on our website, www.missionhelpinghandsli.org. You can donate to the Gofundme for Scott's event and kick off our first event of 2022. But yeah, thanks for coming, Scott. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.